TMHA members. First, let me welcome everyone to the first edition of our video Capital Connection. Capital Connection we started last session. It worked as a sense of emails, alerts that went out. We're going to continue to do that, but in addition to it this year, we're looking to expand that with some video updates like this one. So this is the first edition of many to come over the session. Throughout these installments, we're going to keep you updated to all of the current comings and goings that are going on at the Capitol. Things that pertain to the state in general, and things that pertain to TMHA specifically. So here I am trying to do my best Andy Rooney impression from 60 Minutes, talking to you behind a desk on all of the new updates. But unlike Andy, I'm going to try to stay on topic, and I'm going to watch my eyebrows. So here we go. Once again, we find ourselves in session. As everyone knows, every 2 years for 140 days, the Texas legislature meets in session. I know many of you are out there wishing that the legislature met for 2 days every 140 years, but that's not the situation, and we found ourselves once more into the political arena. The November election set the foundation, in particular all the players that will be participating at this session, and specifically, as it relates to this November, all the new players. As you all recall, the November elections had sweeping, unprecedented wins for the Republican Party, more so than anybody had ever predicted. There are 101 Republicans in the state House. That gives them not only a majority, but a supermajority, a super two-thirds majority, which is particularly important when it comes to things like trying to move through constitutional amendments. On the Senate side, it didn't change much from 2009. While there were a few members that changed over, the composition of Democrat to Republican remained the same as it was in 2009. So in 2011, there are 19 Republicans to 12 Democrats in the Senate. If you're interested, you can get on any of the Senate or House members, in particular the new or the old members. You can go to TMHA's website, where we have links to the full bios of all of the new House and Senate members. Coming into this session, there are two unresolved issues. One was who was going to be the Speaker of the House. In particular, was it going to be the current Speaker of the House winning re-election, or was some new member going to take that seat? The other issue was the state of Texas's budget, and in particular budget deficit. While rumors were rampant, especially throughout November, as to exactly what the state would be looking at, nobody knew for certain. Well, both of those issues have come to light and now are certain. Now, leading up until session, there were certain members of the Republican Party who were calling and trying to potentially replace the Speaker with a different candidate. However, yesterday, Speaker Strauss won re-election convincingly. He garnered 132 of the total 150 votes. The Comptroller's biannual revenue estimate for 2012 through 2013 in particular portrayed a difficult decision, difficult budgetary task that's facing the legislature. With most estimates leading up until Monday's announcement in the range of about $20 billion. Monday's report indicates the legislature will be facing some tough fiscal decisions this session. The Comptroller's report didn't say exactly how much the deficit was. However, her report estimates that the state will have $72.2 billion in general revenue. Now, for a point of reference, back in 2009, when she came out with her most recent budget estimates that have crafted the budget we're under now, the revenue estimates were $87 billion. Now, trying to figure out what kind of deficit we might be looking at, many have looked to and have started compiling the state agency reports from around the state. Now, these reports, as they've requested the legislature for their own budgetary amounts in order to continue and maintain services, most in particularly for the increase in Texas population over the last 2 years, have called for basically a need for around $99 billion. So if you can do the quick math, you can take her estimate of the 72.2 minus the 99, and we're looking somewhere in a budget deficit of about $27 billion. The budget deficit is only one of the major issues facing the 2011 session. There are other prominent issues, particularly the controversial redistricting, which is the process by which election maps are redrawn after every 10-year census. Other issues are the 28 state agencies that are going through the sunset review process. Recall, the sunset process is where the legislature examines and audits each agency within the state. The legislature will then come up with any changes and/or decide if that agency needs to continue into existence. An additional issue that will come up amongst the legislature was the controversial voter ID bill from 2009. Remember, this bill came up and was the cause of the delay process in the House instituted by the Democrats so that this issue wouldn't come up for a floor vote. Well, this bill has already been filed again, and all indications seem to point that the Republicans will try once again to get voter ID passed. Now, those are just a few of the issues facing the legislature, but there will be many, many more. Now, shifting gears for a second into what TMHA is focusing on this legislative session. First and foremost, TDHCA, and in particular the Manufactured Housing Division with TDHCA, came under sunset review this session. Every 12 years they take up these agencies, and this year was when TDHCA came under the sunset spotlight. Now, TMHA and our lobby team has been working with sunset staff, the agency, the members and staff on the Sunset Commission for the past 11 months. And we're happy to report that with the success of last month's December Sunset Commission hearing, we are in a good position now as we wait for the actual sunset bill to surface and come out of Ledge Council, at which point we're optimistic and we will begin the process of working with all of the members of the legislature to get that bill on the governor's desk. TMHA has some additional initiatives that we will be advocating for this session. But primarily in this extremely treacherous political environment that the 2011 session will be, we're focused on protecting the industry from any harmful legislation. We anticipate over 8,500 bills will eventually be filed. Currently, we've already tracked and read and monitored the 903 bills that were pre-filed before session even started on Tuesday. We are already tracking and monitoring 50 plus bills out of that 903. Now that number on both bills filed and bills that we are tracking and working will grow exponentially in the coming weeks and months. TMHA looks forward to this coming session as we work for the next several months with the legislature and the members and their staff. Additionally, we look forward to keeping you updated with up-to-minute insight as to exactly what's going on at the legislature, and so that you can become as part of the political process and join in our efforts as we try to march to success this 2011 session. Finally, we hope you've enjoyed this new video update feature. We also welcome all questions and comments, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, and God bless Texas.